doubles on coffee, no US. Suppliers getting problems to get US to get basic items, rice, potato, pigtail, salt, garlic, anything. Food price inflation is skyrocketing and will skyrocket. Diwali coming up. Carnival in Tobago just finished. Christmas season coming up. Food, cooking. And importers cannot get US from this PNM government. This is worse than 1982 after the PNM had emptied the treasury. And then the NAR had to come in and use austerity measures to save Trinidad and Tobago. Well, once again, history has repeated itself. And with the Dwayne, the worst finance minister in history, at the helm, side by side with the worst prime minister in history, we now are at risk of not being able to put food on the table. Food prices over this period coming into Christmas could jump as much as 7 to 12%, depending on actions taken by the central bank governor, for example. The central bank governor, however, is Rowley's neighbor at Iney's Gate. And it is more important, and his track record shows that it is more important for him to toe the PNM line, to ease the PNM stress, political stress and otherwise, to present a rosy picture when things are in dire straits, when we are in a crisis. You have PNM people who know, intelligent economists, who have been making excuses for the last 6 years, 7 years, 9 years of PNM decimation of the economy. I just had a contribution in the Senate. 40 minutes was very short. But the members of the population that I have seen throughout, walking Trinidad and Tobago, eating doubles, driving, going by the school, going to 5K, going all over, going to the Diwali Nagar, people were very impressed at the information, the research that came out showing that it is PNM decisions, poor decision making, that has Trinidad and Tobago's economy in tatters. But don't look for it in the newspaper. The mass media will pretend like I didn't say anything in the Senate. I don't speak in the Senate for myself. I understand and know that Rowley is a miscreant Oreo since 1986. I know Rowley. I know Rowley's weakness. I know Rowley's greed. I know Rowley is a low character individual. I know Rowley. Rowley only love money. Rowley only like things that are pinker than him. Smiling. Rowley is a low caliber human being. So I know that. So I don't go and debate or do these videos for me. I don't know. I done research. I don't have the information. I speak in the Senate for you, the people of Trinidad and Tobago. I am selected by Kamala Prasad Bissessa to represent not only the 309,000 of you who voted UNC, but independent patriots who love this country. And the mass media has not printed one word. The mass regular PNM media, Newsday, Express, Guardian, TV6, CNC3, it's like I didn't say a word. Only AZP News has printed what I said. So I am going to continue to tell you about the incompetence, stupidity, and greed of the PNM for themselves, for their recusers. They want to know how Kamala will do so much for the people. Because Kamala puts people first. It's very simple maths. Camille Robinson Regis won't be able to understand because she didn't pass maths. She didn't take the exam. She failed maths O level, but somehow proceeded up to the heights of being a PNM leader of government business. Our country is in a situation that is so dire. You have PNM, a man who come in the Senate who say he's an economist, saying, hey, he and him, but unemployment is high, but inflation is low. Now, anybody who did Form 3, Form 4 economics or business would understand that when unemployment is high, you should have deflation. You should have a decrease in prices because aggregate demand will be low because you don't have a lot of money chasing fewer goods. So therefore, if you have high unemployment like we have, with the decimation of the energy sector, not only the refinery but point Lisa's, the poor negotiations for gas, the lack of gas production, the lack of foreign direct investment across the board, when you see in government ministries, not only establishment, but in contract workers, IT workers, government ministries and statutory authorities, people have been fired, TSTT, over 1,000 workers gone and so on. 6,000 SMEs shut down in the last 3 years, which normally employ between 6 to 20 people. And unemployment is high. Yet somehow inflation exists at 0.3%, whatever percent you believe. We don't have statistics anyway because the PNM has been promising for 9 years a National Statistical Office. We have the CSO, we have the central bank. The central bank governor should be independent, but he is Rowley neighbor at Iney's Gate. So the information we get, and they compare us to some developing countries. Developed countries like the USA and Europe, they get their information right on, day in, day out. Job creation, job losses, inflation, everything specific and correct. We have time lag, we don't know if to trust. We have information that comes out subjective rather than objective. But they say we have inflation, 0.3%. Yet, we have the highest unemployment rate ever. That is called stagflation. That means that there are other factors that are pushing up the price of goods. Maybe on the supply side. Well, yes, on the supply side. The import duties, the slow work at the ports, the increased cost outside for shipping. Also, the lack of domestic production for food, the lack of agricultural policy for 9 years, the lack of productivity, the lack of being able to subsist on our own. That pushes prices up. And now the unavailability of US. People are having to buy US on the black market at $8, $9, $10 for one. Those will be reflected in prices. So even though people don't have jobs, people are out of work, children running down, 10,000 children want to work in prison, 8,000 children want to work on a cruise ship, that hard work with no money that going outside. Because there are no jobs. A young lady with 18 ones at O level, working in a bar serving drinks. This country has been bankrupted by the PNM. We are in a state of depression, a state of stagflation. And we have to make changes because this didn't happen just by outside shocks and so on. This happened from PNM stupidity, PNM decisions not to diversify, no sport tourism plan, no agricultural plan, agricultural production going down, traffic, no production, loss of jobs, poor negotiation for gas price, no foreign direct investment, Point Lisa shutting down, no refinery. They're talking about bringing back the refinery that they shut down for no reason, even though the refinery made an operating profit in 2017. They come and they keep spewing lie after lie, and then the media don't print it and don't tell you. Now I could understand the media not printing me because I'm in politics. And I attack and let you all know, don't buy the media, don't buy the Guardian, don't buy the Express. Make sure Guardian Media Limited make a loss. Don't buy the Newsday, don't listen to TV6, don't worry with JW and the CNC3. I tell you all that because they are biased and they push PNM propaganda. So I could understand them trying to ignore me, not that I care. But here's the one problem. I am in politics. Politics is adversarial. Journalism is not. So when you're a true journalist, doesn't matter who you like or who likes you or who argues with you, your job and your profession and your oath is to print the truth, to find the truth without fear or favor. So if you are not printing what I say when I represent so many people and giving out such information that the population needs to before they vote, then you are in politics. So by the Newsday, Guardian, Express, not printing a word, not putting a picture, not saying anything that Anil said as a UNC senator, it shows and it proves my point to you that the Guardian, GML Limited, Guardian Media Limited, Express newspaper, and the Newsday are involved in adversarial politics. because they're editing those they don't agree with or who don't like them, who tell people not to read them. That's not their job. You see? They get catch. So understand, when it comes time to vote, our economy is shattered. Fishermen have no gas, fuel subsidy gone. We have no US. Our children's lives have been mortgaged by the PNM. They are lying on revenue to try and bolster the Carrie Chris and so on ratings, the Standard and Poor's credit rating, so that Colmimber could go and borrow more money, because all the PNM does is borrow to thief. They come to tax you to thief. They come to lie about property tax. This is what is happening. We are in a state of not recession. We are in a state of depression. The PNM shrunk the economy. Rudal Munilal put it best. The member for Oropuch East, but ran home and said, honey, I have shrunk the economy. And then he tries to compare it to 2019. 2019, before COVID, the PNM had decimated the economy. Go and check the numbers. Go and check the numbers under Camel for 2014, 2015. Go and check cash in bank, US reserves, heritage and stabilization, import cover. Go and check the raw numbers. Between 2015 and 2019, the PNM decimated the economy before COVID. They're trying to blame COVID, and now when they have a slight increase in a shrunk economy, them saying, hey boy, we do well. They increased the economy since COVID by 5%. Yeah, but the economy shrunk from 2015. Then through COVID by 31%. So the PNM is still 26% short. And now, well, short, I didn't mean a pun about him, but, and now the PNM is splintered and decimated because Rowley tried to float and tried to push Stuart Young as a leader, and the PNM ground troops have revolted. But they have other bacchanal to come. But all the media want to put is that UNC divided. We ain't divided. Those who have shown. Goodbye to them. The UNC is strong, united, and ready for government to take good decisions to improve the economy. So ban your belly, yes. Hold strain, Rowley say. Well, I say hold strain just till he call the election, and then let it go. Riot with your voting finger. Bless.